What is up, you guys? It's Dee. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing part 2 of how to DIY a jersey slash sweater pattern. So I'm gonna start at the bottom. So what we want to do is we actually want to create a band, the band that usually goes at the bottom. So we want to create that, and I'm just going to, like, on the same line essentially, I'm just gonna draw from here. That way it's, you know, it's roughly the same thingy size. Okay, so with my ruler, I'm actually gonna go ahead and actually do this. As you can see, I'm leaving a little bit of a space in between. So there we go. I'm gonna draw another line. Then we're gonna draw another line, also making sure that it is in the same space, or the same, it's, you know, yeah. Okay, so I want my waistband to be approximately 4 centimeters width. So I'm just gonna mark here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on this side. Then using another ruler, just a smaller ruler, I'm going to indicate over here the fold line. So we're just gonna do some dotted lines. Just gonna do a quick set of dotted lines all the way to the other side, right? So this over here is gonna be my fold line. Then once again, using my ruler again, I'm gonna measure another 4. So basically the depth of our or the width of our band is actually 8 centimeters, but because we're going to fold it, it's going to end up becoming 4 centimeters. And obviously you are going to put a seam allowance around like this. One reason why I'm saying around like this instead of including this line, it's because this line over here, we're going to call it the center front. Yes. And then we're going to just say, just gonna put this over here quickly. Cut on fold. And then what you're gonna do is you're essentially going to cut twice. So you're gonna fold your fabric in half and you're gonna cut this first line. And then you're gonna fold your fabric again in half and cut another one, which is gonna be for the back. So it's gonna be one long line for the front and one long line for the back, essentially, both in which are cut on fold, so that it can essentially double the length of this pattern over here. Now moving on to the next important piece before we get started with our sleeve is our neckline. So we're going to be doing a round neck, crew neck, whatever we're calling it. And before you can do anything, you're going to first start off with doing some measurements. So with your measuring tape, you're going to first start with the back, right? And this is a trick that we were taught at school. You're just going to go from 0.7 over here and just follow with your measuring tape until you get to the center back. Okay, there we go. And I am getting 9.8. So I'm going to put that on the side and say 9.8, and that's back. And then I'm going to go ahead again with my measuring tape. I'm going to go measure the front neckline. So once again, I'm going to follow up with my measuring tape, just following the line and making sure that I'm staying in the line. And I got 13.2. So that is 13.2 and I know that is front, right? So there you guys have it. And then once again, we're going to go back here. We're going to go back here. We're going to start with the first number. So we'll start with the front. It was 13.2. So we're going to do a straight line from 0, well, from 1, and we're going to go mark here 13.2. That is our first line. This is our front. Now I'm going to go back and look at what was my back. My back was 9.8. So once again, with my ruler, 9.8. There you have it. 9.8. Okay. Now we have a straight line, and I'm going to use this L square. And I'm only going to make the width of my neckline 2 centimeters. So I know it's 2. So I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to get all the way to 4. Right? So if I know this is 2, I'm just going to mark it here that this is 2. Once again, do the same on the other hand. I'm going to mark out 2. This is 2, and this is 4. Then once again, I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to just mark out the fold lines. Please note that your neckline is going to be longer than this. So let's say this is our center front as well. Let's just put it as center front, right? You are going to create a seam allowance from the center front going like this all around, but you're not going to add a seam allowance in center front. Why? Because once again, you are going to cut on fold. And then once you've cut on fold, you're going to get the exact measurements for the neckline. So essentially, once you cut this on fold on your fabric, it is going to go all the way around on your neckline. So I hope that part makes sense. And also, I just want to state that if you are going for a slightly, if you are going for a slightly shaped look, you are allowed, considering this is our center, you are allowed to like shape it. You can shape if you want to. You're not obligated to stick to like, like maybe you want to shape it, say, by 2 centimeters. Like you want to take away 2 centimeters. So it kind of creates like that wee shape, like the O that just doesn't O properly. Yeah. So you can do that. So like, for instance, if you want to create this, and then this would be, so you'd cut this on fold, and then your sides would look roughly like this, and then you'd cut it twice, obviously. Yeah. And then if you want to go for a slightly snitched bottom, then you can take away maybe approximately 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeters. That way your garment or your jersey doesn't become too gathered at the bottom, because you don't really want it to be gathered. So, okay, now let's move on to our sleeve. Before I get started with my sleeve, I just want you to take note that before you start, you're gonna have to measure from point 11 all the way to point 12. And for me, my measurement was 22.5. So you should be standing roughly in the same frame, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just going to do a very long line from here. So that's going to be my 0, and I'm just going to just do a straight line going down. Then I'm just going to mark that as 0. Then 0 to 1, 0 to 1, it is 13.75. So I'm going to go ahead and mark there 13.75. So I know that this is number 1. And then you're going to square across to your left hand side. So from there, just going to square across, right? And then from 0 till number 2, that is going to be 59 centimeters. So here I am with my ruler, just gonna go ahead and just mark 59.5, right? So from 0, gonna go ahead and find 59.5. Here's my 59.5, and then I'm gonna go ahead and square as well right here at the bottom. I hope you guys can see this, otherwise this video is useless. Okay, you guys saw that. Just gonna move my paper a little bit because I just feel like you guys can't see everything clearly. Okay, you guys can see. Okay, so that was number 2. Okay, so number 3 is going to be on this line, and essentially you want to measure from 0 going diagonally to this line on number 1, and it is 24.5 centimeters. So I'm going to go from here, 24.5. I'm just going to make sure that it is sticking. So there we go. There we go. So that becomes number 3. And then from there, you can actually square down from number 3. You can square down and this becomes number 4. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and measure 8.1 centimeters. So from here, from number 3, you're going to measure 8.1 centimeters. So here's my 8 and here is my 0.1 over there. Then you're going to go ahead with you can use a measuring tape or you can use a ruler. For this one, I'm going to use a measuring tape. So midway, approximately midway, that is 1.75. So I know that with my measuring tape here is 1, 1.5, 1.7, 1.7, yeah, 5. There we go. And then from here, I know that that is a 0.6. So I'm going to go ahead, I see 0.5, 0.6. So from there onwards, you're going to go and curve. You're going to use your French curve ruler to start curving in and out the sleeve head, essentially. Gonna do that. Just try and make them, smoothly curved to one another. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and actually shape, maybe like not make a straight sleeve and you want to give your sleeve some sort of shape, you are allowed, you can do that, and I'm just going to show you guys how you can do that right now. So right here on this line, you're going to go from 4, you're going to measure 6.9 with your ruler, 6.9 right over here. There you go. Then you're going to take your ruler from 3 until the new line that you've made here. You can go ahead and there we go. So now you have a shaped sleeve. Now let's go ahead and actually do the wristband. And then we can conclude our tutorial for the day. Okay, so for my wrist, size 12, you're going to use 16. Yes, you're going to measure 16 centimeters. So here to here, that's 16. Just going to mark this out, and I'm going to make 4 because that's how thick I want my waistband to be. 4, just gonna put that there, and then draw out this line. Like this. And so draw this one out as well. Got some limited space. Cool. Then you're gonna draw another line over here. This is gonna be the line that indicates fold. And then you're gonna measure again 4 centimeters. Okay, gonna have to switch it up. So once again, measure 4 centimeters and make a line all the way across. This is your fold line. And yeah, so this is going to be your wrist, and you don't cut and fold, you just cut times 2, and it should cover your wrist. And that's how you guys do your pattern. So I hope you guys understood, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share with any person that you know is interested in learning